Dior just released the new fragrance Dior Homme Sport for 2022. I went and picked up a bottle. This is the fourth reiteration of the sport fragrance. Let's see what François Demachy envisioned for 2022. Hey everybody, it's Peter from Central. If you're new to this channel, I want to give you a warm welcome. On this channel, I talk about fragrances, designer, niche, perfumers, so on and so forth. So if you're into fragrances or you want to learn about them or find out about some new ones, do consider subscribing. That way you get to see more fragrances. I want to thank you in advance, and now let's dive right into our newest one from Dior Homme Sport, released 2022. Let's go. Of course, we could just, go ahead and open it up and just look at that single fragrance. But since there were like 4 different ones before, or 3 different ones before this 2022 release, all Dior Homme Sport, I think it'd be kind of fun to kind of go and see what the first one had, and then the second one, and then the third release, and how we ended up in 2022 with this new release. I haven't opened it yet. I did smell it on my hand earlier today, and I really did enjoy it. So what we'll do is we'll kind of compare the notes a little bit and kind of see how it all progressed throughout the years. With that being said, the first one came out in 2008, and it was an explosive lemony fragrance. The one had some Amalfi lemon in it. It had some grapefruit in it. There was some bergamot in that fragrance. There was also some elemi resin, which is kind of a little bit of a resinous tart, scent note. There's also some ginger in it. There was vetiver in it. I think there was some cedar in it. There was lots of loud, explosive, fresh fragrances. As the fragrance died down a little bit, they had some lavender in the base. There was some sandalwood and also some rosemary, kind of piney a little bit almost. In the 2012 fragrance, there's some citron in there, which gives it still the explosiveness at the beginning. Also the ginger that remained from the earlier one, but he added in some iris. Now you guys all know the really beautiful Dior Homme that came out, the iris fragrance. Now this is not the sport, but it has a lot of iris in there, and we all love that scent. So in 2012, François Demachy added some iris into the sport. And in the base, there was some cedar and some green notes, whatever they are. And of course, then in 2017, François Demachy is added again with another Dior Homme Sport fragrance. And for the 2017 iteration of the Dior Homme Sport, we had some blood orange, we had some grapefruit, there's some lemon, there's also some pear in there, so it's toned down a little bit. There's no more iris in it. Instead, you have pink pepper, you have some nutmeg in a sport fragrance, and you have some geranium, sandalwood, and vetiver in the base of the 2017 Dior Homme Sport. I'm excited to see what happens in the 2021 and 2022 Dior Homme Sport. Let's open it up. You ready? So what I'll do is I'll show you how it came presented. So this is how I bought it. It came in this little sleeve. That was, I don't know what, I guess that's for display. Not much you can do with that actually. And I'll show you. This is how it is, and it's got a little sticker on top. I haven't opened it yet, as you can tell, but I will in just a second. What I'll do, I'll pause the video real quick. I'll take it out of the wrapper because it makes a bunch of noise, and then we'll go from there. All right, I'm glad you're still here. So here it is without the wrapper. It's a lot easier. Let's dive into it. What you'll notice is it says Dior Homme Sport here, and the sport is in sort of a bright red color. Now this kind of hints, I don't know yet, but it hints kind of the new bottles how they are now. Remember the Dior Homme changed as well, and it's kind of a little bit more on a contemporary side, not like the old bottles used to look, just like that. So it changed up a little bit. I have a feeling that this one is going to look like the new bottles. But let's go ahead and open it up. And yep, I was correct. So we're done with this one. It absolutely does. It looks like the new bottles, just like the Dior Homme itself changed. And the same thing we have here. We have Dior Homme here, and we have the Sport in bright red at the bottom. Now it does not say the new one or anything like that on there. Now I believe somewhere it said that it was a new. When I bought it on the shelf, there was something, the new one. But it doesn't say anything about the new one on this one here at all. Let's open it up and check the sprayer. Top fits snugly. It does not really click though, a little bit, so I think you can pick it up. Let's give this one a spray and see where we end up. One nice sprayer, really good. And I can tell that this one reminds me already initially of something else that I've smelled before, which is a little bit in the neighborhood of the Dior Homme. It's just a lighter version of it. So the notes that we're going to have in this one, okay, it's going to be very aldehydic at the very beginning when you first spray it. Also, you're going to have some lemon, and there's definitely some bergamot in this fragrance. Now, the listings of it, it says that there is some elemi in there, there is some pink pepper, it says there's some olibanum, and some woody notes, and there's also some amber in the base. So the woody notes are going to come out as the fragrance dies down a little bit. Obviously, it's going to take a few minutes. But what I do smell is the new formulation of the Dior Homme. There's no iris in this one. It doesn't smell like the original Dior Homme at all, like the lighter version of it, because it's a cologne version. Not at all. It smells more like the new Dior Homme and a lighter version of it. All in all, it does give it a little bit of a different smell. It's very lemony, but it definitely hints towards the 2020 Dior Homme. Now, lots of people didn't like that one because it went too far away from the original, you know, with the iris in it, which is really a gorgeous scent. This one right here is really going to be a little bit more wearable throughout the entirety of like the warmer months. I really do enjoy it. It's a very airy, light feeling due to the aldehydes, and it's quite a bit of lemony. And as the fragrance now dies down, I can definitely tell that there is some woody notes in there as it dries down. And, you know, I can't wait for the amber to show up. At this point, you know, we are a few minutes into it. I can't tell the amber yet, but it's definitely a lemony scent. Is it as lemony as, you know, the light blue Forever by Dolce & Gabbana? Well, that's grapefruit, right? That's not lemony. But it's not as pungent as the grapefruit would be. It is definitely lemon bergamot with some aldehydes. And if you don't know what aldehydes are is a synthetic note that smells a little bit like freshness. It's a kind of a little bit of a cooler feeling, and maybe like fresh laundry or something like that. And of course, you got the lemon, the bergamot. And then, you know, of course, if you don't know what elemi smells like, elemi is a little bit piney. It has a little bit of a citrus facet to it. So it's piney, citrusy. So it's definitely a cologne that or a sport fragrance that you could wear in the gym if you'd like. I think it's too nice for the gym, actually. Hey, before you click off, I got one more thing. It's been on my hand for a little while, and I want to tell you, as it dries down, when the amber starts coming in, it's a little bit resinous, a little bit sweet, a little bit powdery. It's really beautiful. It's worth it. See ya.